And we are live. So, Jack, I sent a tweet out, and we need to come up with a name because I'm totally down to do these like I'm totally down to do these like once a week. We need to come up with a name for this like sideshow.
Absolutely. Yeah, we need a name for this sideshow and figure out, we got to make sure we do it every all the time.
So I
Like,
I'll be able to hold us accountable. I feel like.
I
Um,
hope so.
I think it's you.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
kind of a wild card when it comes to
yeah.
all.
I'm not a
I
big like
guess,
finger pointer, but in this situation, like I'm 100% pointing my finger at you.
yeah, I'll take the blame on that one.
But
Yeah, I think it's something we can figure out, and I think we can have an unbelievable name. I don't know what it's going to be, but I
yeah,
know it's going to be unbelievable.
I think so I kind of was pondering names earlier, dude, and I know for the listeners that are tuning in right now are probably like, what's going on, man? Like this is so not a Robby Row Show podcast, but for those of you guys who are listening, this is going to be like a weekly segment, like we said, but it's my boy Jay Flair and I, and we're just going to be spitting knowledge, spitting truth, talking sports, talking movies, talking what's your favorite Halloween candy? Just
Ooh,
random stuff.
that's good.
So,
That's
um,
hard. That's a hard question. But yeah, we got everything. Yeah,
uh,
we gotta get it. We gotta get a really, really good
how
name.
about this, dude?
It'll happen organically. The zoo,
Dude, how about this? You ready for this? Can I get a drum roll?
which is
How,
I can't do a
how
drum
would
roll,
you do a
but
drum roll? How would you do a drum roll like with your mouth?
I,
Like- Okay, so Jack and Rob covering all bases.
Jack and Rob covering all bases.
Covering all the bases.
Oh man, that just takes me to like freaking spring where you're running all over and you got to cover every single base and do
Gosh,
everything.
like you're getting raked in the bottom of the fourth and you're freaking backing up every
Oh my
single
goodness, your
base.
head's turning.
Your
You
neck
got you've
hurts.
covered every base.
You're taking
Yeah.
anti-inflammatories not for your elbow, but for your neck.
That's when the season's going really bad and you're like, oh man,
And it's
that's
not
a
even the All-Star break
lot
yet.
of neck turning.
Oh, what do you think about that
Um,
title though? That's pretty, I mean, I wanted
Do
something
you
to
want something
relate
that
it.
long or do you want it short?
I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like being short is never good, right? Except in podcast titles.
Um, yeah, accepted. Yeah, that is true. I don't ever want to be short,
Oh, man,
thankfully.
like anywhere.
Whatever. We'll figure out. We'll figure it out. Let's start something. Like we'll figure out a title some other time. I don't know what's going
We're
on
gonna we're
here.
gonna have to we're gonna have
Oh, where
to
is it? Where is
Regis
it?
Regis. Let's go to the audience. Regis, I want to ask the audience. Do we have live audience during this show? That'd be sweet.
Please, that'd be awesome.
We should do like
I think
weekly
that
podcasting slash Instagram lives so we can take in questions. That'd be
I like
crazy.
where your head's at.
Yeah, my head's
People would
everywhere.
people would have some great questions. I
Speaking
think.
of great questions, what is your favorite Halloween candy, Jack?
Okay, so my whole thing with this is what are you encompassing as candy? Are you talking candy? Does chocolate count when it comes to candy?
First of all, if you ever use a word more than four syllables on my show again, I'm gonna hang up.
What was the word that was more than four syllables?
I
How
don't know.
many
I think you
syllables
said
do you
like I think you said Christopher Columbusing or something.
I don't know. Does chocolate count as candy?
Listen,
Like I see it all the time.
listen.
Some
When it
people
when
don't.
it comes to Halloween candy, it entails whatever is dropped in your pillowcase at that given moment.
It's chocolate and other things.
Exactly. So therefore, Halloween
All right.
candy.
Halloween candy for me is Reese's peanut butter cups.
Now, this brings up a whole different debate because I need to know this. Is it Reese's or Reese's?
Reese's or Reese's?
How do you pronounce it?
Honestly, I think I say both. I don't know if it's Reese's, and I don't think I have corrected anybody who has said Reese's or Reese's. Reese's peanut butter cups. Reese's. Actually, I don't think I say Reese's.
That hurts me, man.
I say Reese's. You say Reese's?
I've always said Reese's. I feel like it just rolls off the tongue better. I think Reese's is like forced. Like right after you get to the C, you have to like force the is instead of e's. You know what I mean? Reese's.
I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that's my favorite freaking Halloween candy.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is
It's a given.
taste cake.
It's a
Taste
given.
cake, right?
I was in the grocery store. You know, shopping at grocery stores during this time is probably the hardest thing ever.
Why?
You go through candy aisles, and obviously all the candies are
Yeah,
marked down like 10 for 10,
yeah.
and
And
it's
you
like
just look at
legit
them and
candy.
like, I mean, I have to. I'm saving money, and then next thing you know, you end up stocked up for the whole year because you're like, well, this is the best time to buy it, so might as well get it now and save it for the whole year.
Speaking of stocked
I mean,
up, you're also stocked up at the dentist with 32 cavities, because you eat candy
this is
every
where
day.
they make their money. Dentists they don't work all year, and then
Yeah,
right around November, December,
yeah.
that's where all the appointments are made, and then they just take the rest of the year off. And it's like, well, I did really good for
Well,
myself.
just in time for the Christmas bonuses.
Yeah. Oh,
What about Easter though?
goodness
I
me.
feel like Easter a lot of chocolate gets
Yeah,
eaten.
and then they come back around to Easter,
Yeah.
Valentine's Day, and
Valentine's
Easter.
Day?
They just sprinkle it in.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting punched in the mouth on Valentine's Day. I just feel like that's a given.
So I
Somebody didn't do something.
this so this next question, um, I don't want to edit this podcast one bit. I want to keep this as raw as possible. So
Mhm.
what I'm going to do is I'm not going to ask the original question. I'm going to modify the question a little bit. Um,
Interesting.
but and I think the listeners and even you will be like, oh, I bet I know what the question was really about. But it's what holiday do you think people have the most kisses on?
What holiday do I think people have the most kisses on? I would think. Let's go through the holidays. I mean, you get Valentine's Day, Halloween, which I don't know why Halloween's a holiday, but
Did you say
Christmas,
Halloween or Halloween?
Halloween. Did I say I think I said Halloween. I've never said that before.
Dude, you just said it, and that's
Halloween.
why I have
I
trust
don't
issues.
know. Yeah. Halloween,
St.
Christmas,
Patrick's Day,
4th of July, St. Patrick's Day,
New Year's
Labor
Eve,
Day. I'm gonna go with
Fourth of
that is that
July.
are we calling New Year's Eve a holiday? I
It
guess it is.
it is a holiday. That's like, hey, it's my birthday holiday. Heck yeah, it is.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, I mean, obviously. I mean, so I'm gonna go between Valentine's Day or New Year's Eve.
Okay, do you want to hear my answer?
What?
So I would say Valentine's Day really limits the amount of interaction
Kiss.
because
Hmm.
I feel like it's a very couples orientated holiday. Now, when you go towards like Halloween, New Year's Eve, St. Patty's Day, where like 4th of July, people are kind of, maybe, I'm not saying they are, but I'm saying maybe under the influence. I'm
Right.
sure it doesn't just, happen to just couples, more so
Right.
everyone. Dogs, cats, you know.
That's fair. So when you put it that way, I'm gonna go with New Year's because New Year's is the one where, yeah, 4th of July, everybody gets together, everybody goes, does their thing. But I just feel like New Year's, anywhere you go, like it's just,
Yeah.
you could be under the influence before it's even the new year and
Right.
just, end that year and start a new one.
And it's like the one holiday where you actually like have to kiss on midnight.
And it's the thing. It's midnight. I
Yeah.
need to find somebody to kiss.
But here's the thing.
What?
Here's the thing
Hey,
though.
you.
What holiday does that go under, right? Because it's midnight, so therefore it would be New Year's Day. Now, the original statement was New Year's Eve. So now we need some thinking to do.
I said New Year's though.
Okay, well I
New
said New
Year's
Year's Eve because
fully encompass.
okay. I see what you're saying.
I would say
Maybe.
fully encompassed, but then I would say New Year's Day. I would say it, I would say kiss, and then that's pretty much after the kiss, after the clock strikes
Yeah.
12 parties. That's when it's like, all right, you kick it into another gear, and then and then you've got somebody. You've got that somebody.
Yeah.
You just had a moment.
Yeah.
That's a
I
moment.
I wouldn't
Kissing on New
know.
Year's,
I
like,
wouldn't know. I think the last 3 years I kissed my wiener dog for New Year's.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
but
we had
once
a
you
moment.
once you have that moment, like, you guys are intertwined forever.
Forever. It doesn't go away.
Never,
Yeah.
forever.
So, anyways, that was a question that was kind of roaming around the
A
training
good question.
facility earlier today,
That's a good
obviously
question.
in different contexts, but
Yeah,
nonetheless a
good
solid
question.
question. So, Jack, what do you want to talk about, man? What do you what's new in your life? I mean, it's your off season. Had a good season, dude. I don't really want to talk like about baseball because you're not even that good, but what do you do now? What happens?
Well, I got home and enjoyed about 2 week, 2.5, 3 weeks off. Getting back into training, working out slowly but surely. I met with our boy Alan like about 2 weeks ago to
Yeah,
go over a throwing program off season. Yeah,
it's our guy, dude.
I go and meet with him just about every off season. We kind of come up with a throwing program
That's
and
hot.
and figure something out. Yeah, he's awesome. Love him.
He needs to sponsor my
Um,
podcast.
oof, yeah.
We'll have to get him on.
What about some of these? Well, since it's Hollow Halloween,
Dude, who
Halloween.
are you? Why are you saying it so funky?
What? I don't know. I have to check myself before I say
Check
Halloween.
yourself before you wreck yourself.
Halloween.
Dude, that's
What?
just
I've seen some. I've what?
I was just gonna say,
I don't know.
um, I don't know why what you just said like reminded me of a pretty decent topic, but I want to dive
What
into it
was
real quick. I
it? Go ahead.
I've been binge watching TV shows and
Mm-hmm.
of the Netflix variety, obviously. And
Mm-hmm.
I finally dove into Stranger Things. Have
Ooh,
you watched all of them?
I have watched both seasons.
Oof, good. This will be a good conversation then. What do you got, dude? Because I was against it for a long time and I avoided it because I felt
Why
like it
were you
was just
against
the
it?
hot thing.
It was the hot thing, and you said, "No, I'm not doing it."
Yeah, I feel like I'm not drinking the Kool-Aid, like no chance. And then I dove in one
Yeah. So,
episode and I was done. I was done. I was done.
so how much have you watched of it?
Oh, it's over. I'm waiting for season 3. So get this, dude. Like
Oh,
they're
oh,
only I think first season was 8 episodes, right? Second season was like 9.
yeah.
Um, I watched. It took me 3 days. I think 3 days to watch both seasons.
That's impressive. I'm not surprised though with you, because
Yeah,
once you get on something, it all happens really quickly.
exactly, and that's why I try to stay away from TV shows, honestly, especially the ones on Netflix, dude, where
Yeah.
it says like, "Oh, next up in 5 seconds," and you're like, "Gosh,
Oh,
those 5 seconds go by so
yeah.
fast."
You can't stop. It's just like, oh well. I mean, next one's right there. It's either I could go to bed or I'm gonna just watch one more. What's one more
Oh, it's three
episode?
in the morning, and I got to get up in an hour. Yeah, just watch another one.
It's one more. I'll be
Yeah,
okay.
I start.
Yeah, I feel like
It's
when I
funny, dude, because
started it, I think I started watching before it was the big thing.
it, yeah. I mean, dude, it's always bad when you start like prioritizing a show in front of sleep, right? Like
Yeah,
that's when you're like in that very vulnerable state that you probably shouldn't be in. When
yeah,
you start like justifying why you're watching the show, and you're like, but I guess I can nap like 20 minutes tomorrow. Like, I'll be okay.
you make your schedule for the next day, and you're like, all right, well, I can just watch another episode. I'll get to sleep in an hour, and then I'll lose this amount of sleep. Like I just gotta make it. I just gotta make it through
Yeah.
X amount of time tomorrow, and then I can be. And you know your schedule. And like
Yeah.
I can be home, and then I can take a nap then, and then you get home, and the first thing you do is put the TV show on, and you're like, oh my, there goes nap.
You're done, dude. Yeah, it's over.
There goes nap. So
Uh,
been there before.
I feel like everyone has though,
I've been
right?
there.
This will be a good transition
Really.
into a pretty good topic as far as like professional baseball players in the off season. If you don't play in the off season,
Huh?
I feel like what like I mean for the one I mean even the ones that do get like a 9 to 5 job, I feel like Netflix is at the top of the list as far as activities done in the off season of a professional baseball player.
It can become, your best friend, but depending on what you do. I mean, some guys travel, take a vacation, but that only lasts for so long, and then you come back and you can only train so long, so
Yeah,
many hours during the day.
yeah.
I feel like when you're older and you have a family, like that's completely
Oh
different.
yeah,
You get to spend time
yeah.
with them, but when you're young, I mean, if I feel like you have all this time on your hands and you're trying to figure out what to do, and you next thing you know, you find a show you've never heard of, and
Right.
it's either it's the best thing you've ever watched and you continue watching it, or you continue searching for
You're right.
something
Right.
that is like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this whole thing, and then you find something random that's 7 seasons long, and you're like, this is gonna be great.
Those are the worst ones too, where
Yeah,
it's like
I
seven
yeah, I try to
seasons.
do it differently. Go, I try to find something that's like super well known or is popular or maybe like is quote unquote before my time,
Right.
where it was something that wouldn't be on TV. So like, um, or like I go back and rewatch something like two years ago. I went back and rewatched all of Seinfeld, which is
Wow.
however many seasons. I went back and rewatched all of The Office,
Of
which is
course. Of
classic.
course.
But
Yeah.
like Seinfeld, like I know, like I've seen it on television before.
Right.
And, some people talk about it, and then I went back and rewatched the whole thing. It was like, yeah, this was worth it.
So with that statement that you just said, I'm assuming you're pro or you're Seinfeld over Friends.
See Friends. I haven't watched the whole thing. I need to go. That's something that I
Hold
would
on. What goes through
actually
your
go and
head when
rewatch.
you go, I'm going to watch Seinfeld and not Friends?
Uh, I was on Hulu and Seinfeld was there,
Okay.
and I think I just started it. No,
Yeah.
I don't have a son. Are you a Friends over Seinfeld?
I'm a Friends guy for sure.
Is that a common like debate?
Oh, that's like, hey, what's your favorite cheeseburger place? We know the answer. You don't have to go
Oh,
there.
it's like yeah, goodness, that's next question. But
I would say that's like a big debate because they're
interesting.
similar times, similar show, similar dynamic. Sitcom,
It's,
obviously, and yeah,
yeah, see, this is my pop culture that I did not know that was
yeah. This is what 80s, 90s pop culture. Like you got it.
yeah.
I guess you are
Oh,
like
but
12 years old.
you know what I found out I was in Cabo and I'm searching through Netflix
See,
and I
you even
see
take
that the
Netflix on
Fresh Prince of
vacation.
Bel-Air. Yeah, seriously. I see the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is on Netflix and I
Oh
go, my
shoot!
life is over. Nobody talk to me.
So you're
I'm
saying Fresh
going to
Prince is on Netflix?
yes.
That's what you're telling me right now. Fresh
It is
Prince on
it
Netflix.
is on Netflix. Yes.
That might. I don't know if that was good information to relay on the show.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, my favorite show probably ever. Like if it's ever on TV, I don't really care if I've seen the episode 15 times because they pretty much relay.
All
I
right.
feel like it's the same ones. I'm gonna watch it and I'm
So
gonna laugh. I don't know what it is, and I found it on there, and I'm like, I'm probably gonna rewatch this 3 times this off season.
Jack, I know I wanna say this with all due respect, man, but for the thousands of listeners that I have on this show, most of them are probably at the age where they didn't know what Fresh Prince was, and now that you kind of told them what it was, I think you just ruined a majority of lives
How? How do
because
you
now
say
they're
that?
now they're hooked. Now they're not going to train for a month. They're not going to
Yes, this is
they're not going to get out of bed.
this is true. This is true. I feel like once you get a hold of the Fresh Prince and you start watching it, I mean, you have to be hooked.
I feel like we
But
have to edit the
that
podcast now.
show,
I said I didn't want to, but I think we might have to
oh
edit that out.
man, this show is just amazing.
How was Cabo, dude?
It was good. I
Yeah.
mean,
I'm a Cancun guy.
yeah, I'm not a big relax guy, but it's good to relax, get away for a minute.
Oh, I can imagine, dude. It was that was your first vacation, right? In the off season?
Yeah.
I mean, you could be like Weave, who takes a vacation like every third day.
Yeah, I feel like he's been everywhere and he's just sitting in Italy right now
He's in Italy, just
doing I
chilling,
don't know what. Yeah, he's in Italy.
just eating pizza.
Him and old Olivia.
Old Miss Dreamweave, Mrs. Dreamweave. Sorry, Olivia, if you're listening.
Oh, Mrs.
Okay, here we
I
go,
lived it
Jack.
up early.
Favorite TV shows of all time. I think we just heard your number one, so go ahead and rank.
Fresh Prince,
Yeah, go
Fresh
ahead and
Prince of
rank
Bel
two,
Air.
two, three, five. What? I'd miss four. Two, three, four, five.
235. Fresh Prince of Bel Air is number one. Are we talking? Are we going back to cartoons? Or are we just talking
Ooh,
favorite ones?
that's a good rebuttal question there. I would say
Can we do?
not.
Can we do cartoons outside of it?
We can. We 100% can. But let's do like real shows for now.
God, how? Okay, I'm gonna try to stay on topic here because I was about to go all into cartoons.
Reggie?
Oh, oh, gee, favorite TV shows of all time. Friday Night Lights.
Really? You know what's funny is I never watched it.
Oh, ow.
Is that the one with Taylor
The
Kirsch, or was
crazy
he in the
thing,
movie?
I don't know. I don't know,
Dude, you're my movie guy too, and you don't know who
at
Taylor
least,
Kirsch is?
dude. I just know Friday Night Lights. I mean, it was like that's a great show, which is so weird because I did not think that was gonna come to mind.
That's
Um,
number two for you?
Friday Night Lights. I don't know about two. I'm just thinking of the next four that come to mind.
Okay.
Friday Night Lights. uh, Um, The Office comes to mind.
Uh-huh. Were
Um,
you a Parks and Rec guy?
I never watched it.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I've heard good things.
Um, there's there's this show I actually started watching called Power,
Yeah,
which
that's a dope show, I
I
heard.
immediately went into my top five
Is
the
that what
second
50
I started
Cent
watching.
produces it or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, my
Um,
mom of all people watches that.
yeah, um I'm actually looking up best TV shows of all time to see what I've seen.
Were you a
And
One
but
Tree
if
Hill
I had
guy?
to, I've seen parts of one. Oh, Breaking Bad. That's in my top
Okay.
five.
Yeah. I've only seen two seasons.
Did you watch One Tree Hill?
Oh, that's my number one.
Really?
Yeah. I love me a
So,
soap opera.
what
What
about Lost? How did you feel about Lost? Did you watch it?
I watched bits and pieces. Honestly, it was hard for me to keep up. My ADD is too bad with shows like that, and I just
That's a lot.
I won't ruin the show, but I heard how it ended, and I'm like, wow, I'm glad I stopped watching that.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't imagine like
Um,
what mental state I would be in after I just watched what 11
the
seasons of
whole thing
that.
and it ends that way, and you're just like, what is this? What?
Yeah.
You're just like so the ones that for me come to mind are Fresh Prince of Bel Air, Friday Night Lights, um, Breaking Bad, Power, and I'm trying to think of, there's actually one
Would you say
that I
Seinfeld?
don't know. I have a kind of a random show for me that I don't even know if it's the most popular one, but I like thoroughly enjoyed it. it was called White Collar
Oh yeah, I've
with
heard of it.
Matt Bomer,
Right.
and that was something that I watched through and through, and just was very entertained by it. Like it wasn't a funny, he's an ex-convict working for the feds,
Right.
helping them solve these crimes, but also doing convict things on the side while trying not to get caught. And for me, I was just like, I watched that thing through and through.
Did you?
So off the top of my head,
Yeah. Do you still watch Ballers?
I do.
You like it?
It's good. It took an interesting spin this season,
Yeah.
getting into the whole NCAA,
I stopped
which
watching
was,
it.
oh, dude, they got into the whole NCAA. Like, they had he pretty much attacks the NCAA in this one, which was an interesting, it was a very out there kind of season, like,
Um,
about the NCAA.
I just
What do you
saw
have? What are your top five?
I just saw Klay Thompson's his
His
Halloween
That's
costume.
great. Yeah, it's good.
Did you see JaVale McGee?
No,
He's the Grinch with a fanny pack.
of course he's got the fanny pack, man. That's his thing.
Victor Oladipo's Black Panther. Um, I don't know
You
who
see
that
Ron
is.
showing up as Jason.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite. Bill Russell's a piece of bacon.
You need to
Um,
give me your top five.
oh yeah, so easy, dude. Did you ever watch Prison Break?
No, I never did.
I feel like that'd be one probably right up your alley, honestly.
You know what would have been easily top five was, what was the one on HBO where it was two seasons and one was great with Matthew McConaughey and
Oh, True Detective.
yeah,
I heard that was really good.
great first season.
Vince Vaughn was in it,
Great first
right?
season. Second season, he was in the second, I think. I don't know.
It was two big names in
Okay.
the first season. It was two big names in
Woody
both
Harrelson
seasons.
and
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey.
All right, all right, all right.
All right, so you have
All right, so
whatever.
number one's One Tree Hill. Um, I
Okay.
started that in my heyday, when I was like in fifth grade, and with anytime you insert soap opera and basketball and a bunch of hot dudes, I feel like I'm in. It's a
You're locked in. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, it's something you can't get away from. It was funny
that's
when
fair.
when Weave and I were in the fall league, like Olivia would come out quite often in Arizona, and we would literally all three like sit in bed and just watch reruns. One Tree Hill.
So true. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's number one. Number two is Walking Dead. I'm a Walking Dead guy, big zombie guy.
My brother's a big Walking Dead guy. I
You never
never
got
quite
into
got
it.
into it.
That's interesting because I feel like you
Yeah.
would enjoy it. Um, just
Yeah.
started their ninth season, so they're doing something right.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
what else, man? Shoot, I mean, you know me, dude. Like, I'm a huge superhero comic book guy. So,
Hmm.
like the Netflix Marvel shows right now, like the Daredevils, Jessica Jones, Luke Fist,
Hmm.
or Luke Cage, Iron Fist. They're doing it right. Love those shows. Even like the DC side on CW, with Arrow and Flash and Supergirl. Supergirl, I love that girl, Melissa Benoist. Oh my goodness. If she's listening, DM me.
Yeah. Oh
Um,
man.
you know what though? I would put number three is Smallville. Smallville's number three, and then
Wow.
I
Okay.
yeah, I got into I would say like Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf was like number four probably, and then
Hmm.
five I would insert like all those other like superhero shows. All
Yeah.
tied for fifth.
So I'm on the Rolling Stone right now, and I'm trying to see what year this article came out. But you want to know what their top five movies of all time are,
Movies?
or TV shows? My fault.
Okay, yeah, I would like to know.
Number one
That's
is
probably all
The
serious stuff.
Sopranos,
Of course, see, it's gonna be all serious stuff. Like I'm not. I don't know.
which I've never actually even paid attention. But number two is The Wire, which I actually want to watch. Like that's one where I say
That's
like I
the
want
one
to
on
get like some.
FX, right?
That's on no, that's on HBO.
Oh,
That's something that I've heard is like the greatest thing ever, and I was like, all right, I need to go watch it.
Yeah, my mom doesn't
Um,
let me watch HBO.
of course not.
My
Breaking Bad, three,
that's three. Yeah,
Mad Men,
I feel
Which I've heard
I feel
is
like
great.
Game of Thrones is
You
probably up
know,
there.
Game of Thrones is right up there. How do you feel about Game of Thrones?
I've never watched it, dude. Like Westworld, Game of Thrones, like those shows, like in today's day and age, dude, where everyone's talking about them. It's kind of the same thing with. I'd even put Stranger Things in there on mine. I'd have to put Stranger Things somewhere in there, but it's all shows like that, and I'm scared of it, dude, because I feel like
Westworld had a
I
good
wouldn't
first season.
I wouldn't have a life if I like got sucked into that, dude. Like I
There's
literally
so
like
many.
prioritize that terribly. So I just avoided at all costs anyways. Are you a Game of Thrones guy?
Yeah. I wasn't at first, and then that's like an example of one of those where I was like, all right, I have an off season. Actually, no, that wasn't even off season. That was spring training.
Yeah, see, that's
Of
a whole nother thing. Spring training.
I don't even know. Spring training is another time because you get spring training's the epitome of okay, I'll just watch one more episode. I just got to make it through tomorrow, and I can come back and I can nap
Yeah,
because
yeah. You
I'm gonna
just
be
justify
exhausted.
like, okay, I'm not throwing till Thursday. It's Monday. Like, oh, I'm not sleeping for 3 days. You're laughing because you know it's so true.
It's so true.
You're like, okay, we're
Oh
gonna have
man.
early work tomorrow. It's only bunt D though, so I don't need to be like so coherent. We'll be all right. They invented pre-workout for that.
That's all it's for. What about, all right, here's one. What about, since, we're all about sports, do you have a top five sports movies?
Oh,
Any sport?
okay. So I mean, we totally bypassed the whole cartoon show first, but yeah,
I know.
we can
We
jump
can
into
do the
this.
cartoons. I freaking love cartoons. Like, that was just,
I'm a big
there's so
'90s
many to
cartoon
pick.
guys. Big '90 cartoon guy.
Oh, yeah. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me? The cartoons now. I feel bad. Forget the movie question.
yeah.
I feel bad for
I do.
kids now because I see some of the cartoons and I'm just like,
It's
we
whack.
were so blessed.
So blessed,
Like
bro. Hey Arnold, you kidding me?
we were so. Hey Arnold, are you kidding me? Rocket power?
Ro-
Are you kidding
woogity
me?
woogity woogity.
We guys still do wiggity wiggity wiggity. Like
Dude,
that's where it came from.
I know. I still do that.
The wiggity wiggity. Like coming up with a top five is
You want to hear mine? I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot.
okay.
So I feel like one of these five is going to be a little bit out of the element though, because it was a little earlier, but I still loved it. It was Scooby Doo. I wouldn't put it at one.
Oh my goodness! You
Yeah.
have to put that in there.
I'd 100% put it in there. I wouldn't put it at one. Honestly, dude, with me, I was full board on the Rugrats train, man. Frickin' Tommy and
Oh my
Dill,
dude, you're
Pickle,
speaking my language right now. This
dude,
is
Rugrats train. When they made those
oh
movies with the wild thornberries, I frickin' lost it,
yes.
lost my
Oh my
face.
goodness.
And then two, definitely Hey Arnold. Um, three, I'm gonna go, dude. Three wild card pick, Doug.
Ooh, you were a big Doug guy. Doug
Big
was
Doug
good.
guy. Skeet skeet.
Doug was
Patty mayonnaise.
dude. Doug.
And then Rocket Power. And then like I said, Scooby Doo somewhere in there.
Dude, this is so I just looked it up.
You can't do
Like
that, dude. You can't. You got to go
I
top of the head because then that
there's
makes it
so many.
worse.
Okay. Okay. I like once you said Scooby Doo, like Scooby Doo's in my top five, Rocket Power's in my top five, Hey Arnold's in my top five.
Yeah.
Uh,
You have two spots
Cra-
left.
what I mean, um,
Clifford the Big Red Dog's in the top five.
Clifford. I mean, why not? What did I say? I said
You
Scooby
said
Doo, Rocket
Scooby
Power,
Doo,
Hey.
Rocket Power, Hey Arnold.
Honorable mentions of Cat Dog
Oh my
and
gosh, Lone in the World with a little cat dog.
great beginning. Honorable mentions of Cat Dog, Dexter's. Did you say
Dexter's Lab?
laboratory or laboratory?
Lab.
Yeah,
I said Dexter's Lab.
I feel like he used to say my laboratory. I don't, or I'm making that up. I don't know.
I don't know.
So I know it's Dexter's Lab. Honorable mentions to those two, um, but honorable mention to Johnny Bravo,
Yeah.
Courage the Cowardly Dog, which
Oof.
um, honor like so Tom and Jerry for me.
Nah, I'm out.
I I used to watch Tom and Jerry,
Uh-huh.
and it was just they didn't even speak, and
Yeah.
I love Tom and Jerry.
What about Beavis and
But yeah,
Butthead?
Scooby Doo. See, that was one I never like really actually watched.
Yeah. I don't think I was
But
allowed to,
Tom
but
and Jerry, Scooby Doo, Harold, Rocket Power, and Ed, Ed and Eddie.
oh my gosh, dude.
I dude, Jawbreakers, un,
Wow.
unbelievable. Which is segues into a perfectly great question. Of all of those like made up foods, like which one did you want the most? You know, Krabby Patties,
Bro,
Jawbreakers.
we didn't even say
Uh,
SpongeBob.
yeah, SpongeBob was like my other one. I was like, oh my god, I have to put SpongeBob in there.
Bro, I
Like
have to put SpongeBob in mine. Doug's out. Doug's out. SpongeBob.
SpongeBob is in there. SpongeBob is. I could still go
I could
watch it.
still watch
Honestly,
SpongeBob.
honest truth. When it gets like 10 o'clock and I don't have anything I want to watch, and I don't want to watch Netflix, and you know I'm like just not ready to go to sleep yet, I
Yeah.
can always turn on the TV, and I know that SpongeBob is probably going to be on.
Is it Nick at Night still?
It's like I don't know.
Sponge at Night?
I don't know. I can go watch old SpongeBob episodes, and I'm like,
I'm
I'm
with
at
you, dude.
peace.
What's my favorite
I would say a
episode?
Drake and Josh.
Oh, that was fun. I like Drake
So
and Josh.
Your favorite episode?
Favorite episode of SpongeBob when SpongeBob goes on the date with Sandy and Patrick's like outside the bubble and he's like, I don't need it. I don't need it. And he's like,
I don't
water. SpongeBob, Pinky.
No, my favorite one is when Sandy goes into hibernation and they have the Dirty Dan Pithead Larry and I'm Dirty Dan. I'm Dirty Dan.
Oh
No,
my
I'm
god.
Dirty
Dude, I love how we're reciting SpongeBob episodes right now.
Dan. That's how it is.
Okay, so I think we got that pretty good. I'm content with my top five. I don't want to look anything up because I still feel like I'm missing like a major one, but I don't want to lose sleep over it.
Not that I can think of. Yeah, I'm content with my top five. Hey Arnold probably being my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top five sports
Gerald,
movies.
you go first.
All right, I'll take it, man.
Um,
I'll
uh,
take it. I'm okay. So number one, I would say like I just
I
have
hate
to.
that you're able to put these. But go ahead.
Yeah, it's because I get, I think about these every single day of my life. I wake up in the morning, I'm like, okay, did my list change? um, Number one, I'm going to stick with Bull Durham just because I feel like Bull Durham's one of those movies where I can watch like every day and not really get sick of it because it brings almost everything to the table, not just like true minor league baseball, but comedy, love. It really checks all the boxes for me. So I have to put that at number one, obviously being a ball player and relating to Nuke Lelouch in that manner. But and then I think the rest of them are going to be like basketball. So Hoosiers, I go crazy for. Glory Road freaking gets me going.
Oh my gosh.
Even Coach Carter, man, like that one shoot, dude, I just realized that. Is Rocky a sports movie? Has to be, right?
Oh, jeez. I didn't even think about that.
Dude, this isn't good now because I totally didn't like put boxing and there's so many good boxing movies.
What about Miracle?
Oh my gosh, hockey's a sport too, right?
Like, Like when
What about
Matt,
Bring It
like I
On?
think we were both. I mean, all of them. I mean, one is Bring It On, All or Nothing. Come
Yeah.
on. I mean,
They made.
um,
What about
it,
Step Up? Is dancing a sport?
I mean, depending on who you ask. I mean, yeah.
I'm still
But you were
bitter about.
thinking baseball, basketball, football,
I
right?
literally was thinking baseball, basketball, football
That's what I was thinking too. And then
because
the
I was going to say
second,
like the replacements.
okay, well,
Can we do top 10?
encompassing everything, and you have to. Uh, yeah, sure. I was gonna say, but if you don't put Miracle in there, you're not American.
Okay,
Maybe I shouldn't, but
I'm Russian. I'm not. I'm not.
yeah, I probably I shouldn't say that, but yeah, Miracle is in there. But
So
go ahead.
I'm gonna be
I don't know how
100%. I'm gonna be
much I think
100% honest with you, man. Just because I always am, and I love you, but I wouldn't put Miracle in my top five. That's
honestly,
that's
it's
that's.
not. It's fair. Yeah,
I mean, it's in your top five though.
probably not because I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
It's a
So
definite honorable mention.
yeah, dude, I have 30 honorable mentions. They don't even hand out that many honorable mentions. I guess it's 2018. Everyone gets a trophy, right?
Today they do. Today everybody gets a trophy.
So I'm gonna stick with frick me, man. I have to. Can Rocky just be accumulated to one movie, like even Creed? Because Creed was dope. Creed 2 is going to be one of the sickest movies I think all year.
Yeah, we can put it in. We can put it into the Rocky series.
Okay, perfect. So with that being said, the Rocky series would go at number 2. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm confident with that. Yeah, Bull Durham, Rocky series, Glory Road. Frick,
2 spots.
this is stupid. um, have you ever seen The Air Up There? What about Above the Rim? What about White Man Can't Jump? Gosh
Oh
darn
my
it, dude.
goodness.
I'm having an
There's
ulcer.
so many white men. Huh?
Dude, White Man Can't Jump is like
A great movie.
that's like when I think basketball movies, I literally think White Man Can't Jump.
There's so many good basketball ones, and there's so many good baseball ones. But you got to pick five.
Okay, what am I on? I'm on 4. I haven't picked 4 yet.
Yeah, you haven't picked four.
Well, shoot, man, Major League. I'd have to
Yeah.
put Major League in the top 5 just because it produced, I think, 3 movies. So I think
Yes.
a culmination of those 3 movies gets in my top 5. And
Hmm.
and then at 5, I'll have to sneak in White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah.
Final
So,
final answer. Yeah, I think I'm set with that.
wow, this is really hard
You had 10 minutes
because
to think about it.
okay, but like I just started thinking of more. Like I got like, I don't think the Sandlot falls into there, but
Oh
it's like for me,
crap!
it's like the Sandlot is one of my favorite.
That's 100%
Like
like the best.
Sandlot and Like Mike.
Oh my gosh, Calvin, dude, what Calvin Cambridge?
Cambridge.
Oh my gosh, make me like Mike, dude. That's low key, gotta be up there. Frick.
It's hard. But so for me, my one and two, and because they're one and two because they're the ones like I've actually gotten like one of them definitely always get emotional in,
Uh huh.
and the other one is just like it's powerful. I don't know which one goes one, which one is two, but Glory Road is one of them. That
Yeah.
one's just so it's powerful
Right.
and it's like it's cool. And then another one, Hardball.
Oh my gosh.
When G Baby
G baby,
dies,
dude.
it is the I don't know if I've ever watched it and not had a tear or 100
Oh
in
my
my eyes.
goodness.
Like even now, just thinking about the scene and G Baby it's just oh,
You're right.
yeah.
Gosh, dude.
So those two.
What about Moneyball?
Yeah, it wouldn't make mine, but Moneyball, unbelievable. Like you got Moneyball, You have you have Moneyball, Field of Dreams,
Oh,
For Love of the Game, The Natural,
jeez.
He Got Game, White Men Can't
Oh my
Jump,
goodness, he got game. I totally
The
forgot about
Shuttlesworth,
that. I forgot about
the
Jesus
one,
Shuttlesworth, dude.
yeah, one, two, Bull Durham, three. Um, I feel like I have to put a football one in there. Even like going to like the freaking Water Boy and Remember the Titans.
Yeah, but I feel like that's not like a football movie.
The Water Boy,
It's
yeah,
like a
no.
comedy.
Um,
Wait, Longest Yard?
like I'm trying to
That's
pick
a football movie.
long and short. That's football movie. I'm trying to pick between Friday Night Lights and Remember the Titans, and I'm just like, I'd probably go with Remember the Titans
Yeah, I
at
was just
four,
saying.
and then the Rocky series at five. Rocky series at four. Remember the Titans five.
You know what's an emotional movie that gets me, and just because like obviously the baseball thing is The Rookie.
Yeah,
I get pretty emotional with that one.
it's a good one. It's a good one. God, there's so many good ones. Freaking Kevin Costner just did it right.
He kills it, dude. Him and Tin Cup. We didn't even talk about
Unbelievable.
golf movies, dude.
Oh,
Happy Gilmore,
Gilmore
Tin Cup,
again, but it's kind of like comedy. Yeah,
greatest game ever played. Legend of Bagger Vance.
yeah, yeah. I've actually never seen that, but I've heard that one is unbelievable, and I've been told countless times to watch that.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
haven't watched it in super long. I
I'm
could
gonna
probably
look at
watch it again.
Summer Catch.
I mean, I'm not gonna pass on a Jessica Biel movie, especially when she's in her prime.
Can't
Who am I talking about? I'm not
can't
gonna
pass
pass on
on
a
that.
Freddie Prinze in his prime either.
Oh, just a little bit.
Oh my gosh! All right, dude. We have like 10 minutes left. We got to talk
How long are we
NBA.
even talking?
We've been talking for
Okay.
50
Damn,
minutes. It goes so
we
fast.
still have 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We got to talk NBA. We got to talk. We
What do
got
you
to
got?
talk your Lakers.
Dude, what's going on with them?
Well, I want to know I want to know what you predicted at the start of the season.
What I predict, I mean, I think that they'll make the playoffs. I think unless they make a move, which I think depending on if how much LeBron's patience runs out, if they make a move and kind of deal some of these guys, like they'll make the playoffs. I don't think that, you know, they're gonna depending on how the Rockets shape up, but I don't even know if like in a series against the Jazz or Thunder that they would get by them. And I
Jazz are going
think
to get like the 2 or 3 seed, dude.
yeah,
The Jazz are
and then
really
like I
good.
think the Thunder are better this year without Carmelo.
They're better, but I still don't think they're that good.
But I think in a series against the Lakers are exciting.
They are.
They they still lack perimeter shooting, and right now they have a almost a problem of having too many guys that all kind of do the same thing
Sure.
and are kind
Playmakers.
of they're kind of gelling together, but like, you see one night it's Hart, one night it's Kuzma, one night it's Ingram, and it's like you almost want all of them to play at once, but then you got Rondo and you have LeBron and you have JaVale, and it's like, well, which lineup is it going to be
Yeah.
that's going to work?
Tell you
And
what, though,
then
Lonzo's showing out,
I feel
though.
like, yeah, Lonzo's playing better. Like he is what he is. He's doing what he does.
Can
You
we
know,
uh can we talk about an off not super off topic, but a little bit different than I'm
mhm.
just looking at box scores right now, and if you were to guess one person on the Minnesota Timberwolves who has 37 points right now with 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, I'm sorry, 38 points with 7 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, who would you think it would be?
I guess it's Jimmy Butler.
It's uh it's the 2011 NBA MVP, Derrick Rose.
D Rose.
The comeback.
Good for
So
him.
he's got 38 right now.
That guy. Good for him, man.
The Minnesota needs to blow
And
it up, dude. I think they just need to blow it up.
forget anyone who says he didn't deserve that MVP.
Yeah. He's freaking
Yeah.
baller,
Minnesota
dude.
does need to blow it up. I mean, and it's just, I hear what Jimmy Butler's saying. Like, he's not nearly as talented as Karl Anthony Towns or Wiggins, but he's just like, they're not ballers.
Yeah, they're soft. It's a soft generation.
It's such a soft league right now. Dude, how do you feel about you literally go look at a box score and every team that wins is in the 120s?
Bro, it is ridiculous,
Have to score
man.
120 to win.
Oh my
The Warriors put,
gosh.
and it's the Warriors, they put up 92 and a half. I remember when games used to end
Can
at
you
90.
believe that, dude? And you know what? Who it's
Used
the
to,
officiating, man. Like you can't. They're making it to where you can't play defense. Draymond said it best. Like they're making Draymond like a less valuable player right now because he makes his value on the defensive end, and he can't do what he does best. I think it's just I don't know, man. It's like it's a tough dynamic.
and and if you look at the amount of the two shots that have gone up most in the league are obviously one, 3-point shots.
Duh.
Like guys, teams take like 50 and guys are taking 10 a game.
Oh yeah.
And then free throws. You
Thanks,
look at
Steph.
the amount of free throws that yeah, Steph will average like 10 a game. And I don't think he's going to stay this red hot. But if you look at Steph, a majority of his shots are coming from three. So there's a difference between Steph shooting, like, say he was to shoot 45% from the field. I would say 70% of their shots are from three. So he's actually, in totality, shooting a good percentage.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But if you were just to look at his field goal percentage, and if he shoots under 50%, which I don't know where that started changing, it was like, oh, you got to shoot 50% from the field in order to be like a great player.
Yeah.
Like
Kobe
this
never even
whole
shot 50% from the field.
never. Kobe's highest was 47%.
Yeah, which is
But for
crazy.
some reason, you have to shoot 50% in order to be a good player.
Guys are just so
But
efficient, dude.
yeah, they're better shooters, but it's also a lot easier. But free throws are through the roof.
Right.
The amount of free throws that teams take a game, and the games take longer. There's more fouls called. Teams take more free throws. Guys get free points from the line, and it's like guys get so many points in the key. Like
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah, but what does it come down to, dude? Like selling tickets, right? And what do people want to see? They want to see like those super high point
I
total games.
There was a great point on actually one of those talk shows where they talked about the NBA and the NFL. I don't know. Are you how much? I know we talk all sports, but how much of a football guy are you?
I can hold my own in a conversation. I can't like not even close to basketball.
So football's going the same way where their scoring totals are through the roof, and quarterbacks and wide receivers are going like their numbers are going up and up, and like the scoring averages are at all time highs right now in the league. And one of the guys made the point of uh, you know the NBA and the NFL are being driven, well, like the way they're being played is so much for the fans with all the fantasy that goes on now. Fantasy
Yeah,
football is a
I
huge
did
thing.
read this
Fan-
or I watched it.
fantasy basketball isn't quite as big,
Yep.
but it's like they're gearing the game
Yep.
towards all offense, which is what the fans want. They get to go look at their guys on fantasy, like, oh, he did this, he did that, he did that. And it's like that's where the game is. That's how the game is being played now, and that's
Yeah.
where the league is. That's where all these rules are coming in. And I was like, I mean, that's a great take.
You know who said that too was gosh, what's the dude's name? He has a son that plays baseball. Um, NFL
I don't
analyst.
remember.
Mark Schlereth.
I don't
Schlereth said
remember.
that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
listening. I was on my drive out here to Colorado. I was listening to that same talk show, which makes total sense,
Yeah.
right? Like that's what it comes down to, man. Is like for me, it's seeing the writing on the wall, and it's like if you want to sell tickets, you got to match the Warriors' excitement, and like they've
Yeah.
reshaped the NBA in multiple ways, scoring high
They're
points, shooting threes.
they're just They're ridiculous.
They're stupid, dude. They're gonna. The only way that they don't win 5 more championships is if like I
They
think they're gonna.
break up. They beat
Yeah, I th-
themselves.
I think KD's gonna sign. I think they're gonna give KD max. I think they're gonna let Clay go. I think Clay's gonna go to the Lakers.
I think with them, the only reason that they lose is if like they beat themselves.
Yeah,
And
I
I
just
think
I just don't
that's
see
one
that
of the
happening.
main that's one of the main reasons where, well, before they had, honestly, really hot take, but before they added KD, I don't know that the war, like, if you were to actually take that Warriors team, the one that set the wins record,
Yeah,
and take the team that year and the year before that won it in 2015, where they went to 6 games against the Cavs,
yeah,
I don't know that they were actually that great, or if they were just kind of ahead of the curve. Like, yeah, they blew a 3 games to 1 lead, but outside of Steph and Steph and Clay, it was like, you know, but they were so reliant on that bench force
yeah.
to do it. But I just, like, looking back on it, I don't know how great. And then they added KD, and it's like now they're unbeatable. But if one of Clay or Steph is like doesn't have it, and when they don't have it, they really don't have it.
Just look how valuable Steph is to that team, though. Like his like efficiency numbers like are crazy. Like they're so much better than like when KD goes out. Like Colin Cowherd makes that point a lot. Like who's the most valuable to the team? And like yeah, KD's the better player, but when it comes to like value, Steph is the freaking engine, man. Like he does so many things well for that unit,
He
and
is.
and when
I
you take
mean,
him out, it's like they're not the same team.
yeah. But it's easy to say it's easy to say that, but it's also easy to say, well, what were they before they got KD? And like, yeah, they won 73, but I just think that was like the culmination of everything that season. Like they did everything perfect. And
Right.
even come the playoffs, I mean, they were down 3-1.
Yeah,
Like they were 1 game from elimination, and then they got up 3-1,
it was a
and
really
they
good
kind of
Thunder team.
stopped it. Yeah. It took 11 threes from Clay in a game for
Dude,
them to
that
win
was
game 6.
ridiculous.
But yeah, I
I
mean,
agree.
it's easy to say one or the other.
It'll be interesting,
Katie just
man.
took them
I
over the
think
top.
I think the East is wide open now.
Who do
Um,
you got there?
I have Toronto. I think Toronto's really good. I think Toronto's better than the Cavs were last year.
You
Toronto's a
think with Kawhi?
well, Kawhi
Kawhi's
is going to
back.
prove that he's like everyone obviously forgot about him and bad rep over in San Antonio, but he's going to show again that he's probably top 3, 4, 5 players in the NBA on both sides of the ball.
hmm
Like he's incredible.
So MVP prediction. Who's getting it?
Ooh, I just listened to a couple of the guys on the Jump talking about Steph, and it was
hmm
like how no one was predicting Steph. But have you seen? I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with Steph,
His
and
numbers are stupid.
his numbers are
35 points per game, 50% from everywhere.
bro. He's 32 and a half a game, 54 from the field, 92 from the free throw line, and freaking I don't know his 3 point, but I'm assuming it's probably around 50%. That's
Yeah, his 3 points
ridiculous.
definitely around at 50%.
I mean, you look at the points per game for the totals, like Steph at 32, Kemba Walker, who's showing out at 30, D. Lillard, obviously, DeRozan, 28, Zach LaVine for Chicago, who's playing really well, 28 a game, and then Blake Griffin at 27. I mean, there's just so
It's
many high
just,
scores. I think the hot take for MVP was going to be Antetokounmpo, just because he's going to be close
yeah.
to triple double, and I think Milwaukee has a good chance to run out in the East. Um,
hmm
I don't know how much the writers will vote for Kawhi. Say if Toronto gets
hmm
first in the East and he's he's at his normal like say 25 to 27 a game. efficiently and
Mm-mm.
defensive end. I don't know how the writers will respond. I think um, I have to agree with what like Tracy McGrady said, as far as we are always looking for like the up and coming stud to hand out the MVP to, and we kind of
Yeah.
lose sight on those old, like not the old school guys, but
Not
the
the guys
guys,
who have like won it before, and you're like,
yeah,
oh,
and
just looking
that's
for it's the best story.
yeah, exactly, and that's what they were saying about Steph was like if Steph keeps this pace up, and say he doesn't even keep this pace up, say he goes, say he goes for 28 a game and but he's still fairly efficient and he breaks another 3-point record or whatever, and obviously the best team in the league, like do you give it to him? Because you gave LeBron the MVP 2 years when he was with Wade and Bosh. So
Hmm.
I mean
I
I
think
don't
it.
know.
I think it depends on like what. I think it depends on what goes on in the rest of the league. Because for me, it's similar to right now as it used to be in the early 2000s, where I feel like in that span where LeBron won his four, he was like that. It was that transition period from like the Kobe's, the
Yeah,
Duncans, those guys. He was and Wade was on his team, so he was overshadowing Wade, and then Melo was transitioning from Denver to New York. But it was that transition period where all these guys, Russ and KD and them, they were just starting to get their feet in the door,
yeah,
and now everybody's kind of got their foot in the door, and they're kind of split up. I wish they were split up. I wish like KD was on a different team,
yeah.
and um, you put Embiid on a different team from Simmons, and I wish like they were all split up, and
Oof. Yeah,
you would literally go out every night, and you would go like top 10 guys, and you'd
yeah,
be like, dang, they could all get it. But then it goes like, all right, well, this team has a better record, and like you're gonna see some crazy scoring averages from teams or from players,
yeah.
and I would go as to say none of them are, they're still not as good as scores as it was like early 2000s, like
I don't know about
2000 to
that.
2006. I mean, when those guys are averaging 30 plus and the pace of play was much slower and was all half court and they're not shooting as much threes.
Yeah,
I mean, when you've got AI averaging 31,
T Mac.
like yes, T-Mac, AI, Kobe, Gilbert. I just saw a thing on Gilbert today.
Stupid.
Stud. I mean, I'm not gonna say they weren't as good or they weren't as good. It's hard to take the averages when it was then when they're averaging 30 plus and now all the guys averaging like 27, but games are in the 120s. It's
Hmm.
hard to compare that
Sure. No, I agree.
with
I agree
pace of
too.
play.
I think the evolution of the 3-point ball too has kind of just totally changed everything. I mean, think of Kobe came up in like this generation where there's so much emphasis on the 3-pointer, and he probably changed his game a little bit, maybe like molded to a different, maybe more of a perimeter shooting. Because I
Yeah,
mean, I was listening to him today, and him talking about how he loves to bang, he loves to go down on in the post, but
yeah,
science or freaking common sense shows that hey, 3 points is more than two, right? So then you
yeah.
look at like total points per possession. Obviously, if you're the Warriors or you're Curry and you're shooting threes a lot, your points per are going to be higher. This is common sense. So I think you always have to. I mean, you can say the same for any great player back then too, like Jordan, Bird, like those guys. Like
Mm-hmm.
if there was an emphasis on
Bird
the
could
three,
shoot
he's probably one of the top five
almost.
shooters of all time. But I mean, how much did
Yeah,
he really like put emphasis into the 3-point shot, right? Like,
minimal,
yeah,
but that takes his all-time average from probably 24, and you take some of those two, and he's probably averaging 27 points a game instead of his right now where it's 24
right.
points a game. And
Um,
and now you got a guy averaging 27, 10, and I think it was like 5 assists a game, and you look at him in a whole different light of like,
dude, the goat.
oh,
He's one of the goats, man.
One of the goats. One of the
I mean, he's
last
no Jimmer Fredette,
last
but
thing.
whatever.
No Jimmer Fredette. Last thing.
What do you got?
Mount Rushmore, NBA.
Jimmer Fredette, Adam Morrison, JJ Redick, Dan Dickow.
I'm done. I'm done. That's perfect.
Doug McDermott.
That's so funny. That's perfect. Dougie D.
Dougie Fresh, dude.
Dougie D. Oh,
just crushing it with the Pacers
they're
right
the
now.
best.
Best org in the league.
They're the best.
All right,
You just
so
named the best.
Mount Rushmore.
The best ever.
I'm gonna go. It's tough, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
It doesn't have to be. It's not necessarily your top five. I think that's different.
It's
from
four,
Mount
right? I
Rushmore.
mean, Rushmore's four.
Yeah. Well, yes, it's four. I just mean it's not necessarily your top four.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's-
look at you got to look at like the bias in that because I'm in my prime of basketball knowledge when I'm watching the LeBrons and the KDs and the McGrady's. I didn't really know what was happening with Jordan. All I see is the highlights, right? And everything there is all his makes, you know? And you can say the same for Magic, Kareem, Larry.
So you're
like,
picking all prime guys.
well, that's what I'm saying is like I can't just say obviously Michael Jordan. I would always put him up there, but then that's where I get biased. Is I wouldn't pick like anyone else from that era. I don't think. I mean, it's tough, dude, because you can't like overlook Wilt Chamberlain and what he did numbers wise. I just think that's just
Kareem, Bill
it's just
Russell,
crazy,
those,
man.
yeah.
Like look at those guys, dude. Even freaking Walton, like
But
they're stupid.
it's hard though because we're strictly looking at numbers.
Oh, 100%.
You know, we never really get to see them play.
Right. But
That's where
I
all
would
these
go.
arguments are tough.
I know, and that's exactly what I'm saying, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and go on the record and say I'm gonna pick MJ, and then I'm gonna pick all new guys, as far as you know, LeBron, KD, and Kobe.
Okay, I was gonna turn off and never come on, never do this again with you.
If I didn't say Kobe,
Yes, if you didn't say Kobe, I would have just turned this off. You would have been so confused
like
if
hello,
you didn't say Kobe.
hello.
Like,
Where do you go differently
yeah.
on that? I'm really curious as far as where you go differently.
Well, like if I'm thinking, you know, the extent of like how the game changed, you know, I think like a Magic would be on there for what he did with Showtime, and he was
Yeah.
just, you know, he had the smile, he had the flair, he had everything. Like it'd be like Magic, Michael obviously for what he did, but see, I would go like I'd say Magic, Michael, Kobe, LeBron, just for the mere fact of I kind of see as that like the torch being passed that way,
Mm-hmm.
and I think like went from Magic to Michael to Kobe to Bron, and those guys were just so like so dynamic, and you know but Michael or I'm sorry, Magic is the hard one because you have Magic, you have Kareem, you have for me you have like Oscar Robertson, you have
Oh,
Bill Russell, you know, you have Bird, but Magic, you know, he kind of was, I would say, probably a little bit better than Bird. There's so many greats, but if you were to take it in that way, then I would probably just replace, Magic. I'd go Michael, Kobe, LeBron, and I would go big Timmy D. Well,
you can't stop, dude. Stop. Just
what?
don't say Tim Duncan. Don't put Tim Duncan on your frickin' Mount Rushmore.
Can I go KG?
No, absolutely not.
Why?
What do you mean,
Why
dude?
can't
You
I?
tell me right now that you're going to start 4 franchises and you have 4 players on those 4 franchises to pick number 1 out of all the players in the world, and those are the ones you pick first.
Well, T-Mac's going to be one of the 4.
T-Mac's
No,
going to be
but
one of the
T-Mac would be my
4?
4th one.
See, I just look at it differently. I look at total package, dude. Like I need a guy. That's kind of how I assess my Mount Rushmore, where it's like You got to play both sides of the ball. You got to be a good team guy. You got to bring everything to the table. You got to be a winner. You got to, like you got to do all those
I'm not taking
things.
KD.
I didn't say take KD. I just said don't take Tim Duncan.
Why can't I take Tim Duncan?
What year are you picking him?
Well, actually, what am I talking about? I'm taking Shaq. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Shaq if you ever hear this. I didn't mean to be so disrespectful to you.
I'm taking his son.
I'm taking
Shaquille.
Shaq.
Taking freaking Shaquille.
I'm taking Shaq. I feel so disrespectful to 2000, 2001, all those Lakers teams. I'm taking Shaq,
dude,
Kobe.
That's just crazy. Your
Michael.
Mount Rushmore has 2 players that were on the same team.
Yes.
That's stupid.
Yes, it does. It's the best team ever.
I wouldn't say that. Warriors these days would run through them.
Yep.
You want to talk about that? Because there's no way Shaq would keep up, right?
You're not stopping. Shaq is scoring 100 though.
You're not. Yeah, that's fine. You won't stop Shaq. That's 100% okay. But Shaq would not play all 48 minutes, nor would he play even 32 minutes. Because you would put him in pick and rolls, and he wouldn't be able to defend. But Warriors would score 150 points.
You're going to slow the... But see, so now you have 2 clashing styles. The Lakers are going to slow the pace down as much as they can. They're going to run the triangle. They're going to use the shot clock. And they're not take... The difference is they're not going to take a bunch of threes where... So long threes, they lead to long rebounds, run out in transition, which is where the league is right now. Everybody's taking threes, everybody's taking jumpers. When you get a Shaq go up and say he misses it, like, yeah, you can run out as much as you can, but it's not the same as you get a long rebound and you're already running out.
Yeah, but threes are more than 2. Did you know that?
I know that threes are more than 2s, but
how sick would it be to see DeMarcus Cousins and Shaq go at it?
It wouldn't be cool because Shaq would run through him.
What about prime Dwight Howard?
So prime Dwight would be interesting.
Orlando,
I still think Shaq
Dwight.
Or 08 or 09 Dwight winning Defensive Player of the Year, taking them to the finals.
Dude, I feel bad for Dwight, man, because I don't think he didn't get any worse. I think the NBA just evolved in a short amount of time.
Okay. I know I said one last thing, but this is actually the last thing. So, our buddy Big G, Austin Gobber.
That's our guy, dude.
He says, and this is the first time he said it, and he said in he goes, Dwight Howard is a hands down Hall of Famer. Without question, Hall of Famer.
That's a hot take, dude.
It's a hot take, and I'm not even saying that he's not a Hall of Famer because it's obviously easier to get into the NBA Hall of Fame compared to baseball or football. But to say he's that's like, I feel like saying he's a hands down Hall of Famer is like he's a Kobe, a Michael, a LeBron.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and say it. I'm not on board with the hands down thing. It's a good question as far as. Yeah, I mean, again, I think he has a pretty decent opportunity to finish out his career good. Where's he at? Is he with Charlotte?
I don't know the answer.
Oh, no, he's with the Wizards. He's with the Wizards. He's hurt. Yeah. I think he has a good opportunity to finish out his career like on a high note because I think he had a good year last year with Charlotte.
Yeah, low key.
Is Kevin Love a hands down Hall of Famer?
If you're asking me just to spite LeBron, I'm kidding. That's a hard question. I don't know his numbers off the top of my head.
Well, his T-Wolves numbers are stupid.
They're stupid. And, some people would argue, oh, he was just a good player on a bad team. But you don't put up 20. You don't put up 20-20. Obviously, he didn't average it, but he had 20-20 games.
He had 30-30 games, dude.
Yeah. And the guy won a 3-point contest.
He won a 3-point contest.
Before guys shot threes.
Can we talk about something real quick?
He was a big man.
Derrick Rose, 48 points right now.
Do it, D-Rose.
Dude,
Do it too.
he just hit a runner. Yeah, he just hit a runner with 30 seconds left to put the T-Wolves up 2 against Utah. So that'll be an interesting finish.
Back. MVP.
He's back, dude.
MVP.
Now you got to trade Butler. If you trade Butler and get something pretty interesting back for that,
Trade him to LA.
would
You guys
LA?
can have.
I don't know, man. He's kind of the same dynamic though. That's right.
They can, yeah, but if you take 3 guys off of the Lakers,
The Lakers should be in on that though. Like, why aren't they in more on that?
you have all this depth. You kind of have to get rid of some of it.
That's what I'm saying. So why wouldn't they be on like the Jimmy Butler train?
I think they're still trying to figure out exactly.
Like if it's gonna work.
Yeah.
How about Ty Lue getting fired already?
I mean, he was only there because of LeBron, but
I feel so bad.
That's tough, man. K-Love goes out, he gets fired. They're in disarray.
Yeah, it's like really it's his fault.
Yeah.
Well, all right, dude. We got to get off this thing.
All right.
But once a week. But we got to make sure that we don't do an hour and 20 again. I don't know. I don't know how many listeners stuck with us.
Yeah, I don't know. We kind of got all over the place. That was the good stuff too.
Where'd we go? I think we went from Halloween
I couldn't
candy.
tell you what the thing we talked. Halloween
candy
to TV show.
most kisses on holidays to TV shows to cartoons to sports movies to NBA, right?
Yeah.
With a little dabble of Netflix rant in there.
Not a lot of Netflix. Yeah.
Well, the Warriors are starting actually right now, so your boy's got to
Locked
go.
in.
Lock her in. When does DeMarcus come back? Because that's going to be interesting. He doesn't come back till like after the break, I think.
I think it's like January.
Yeah. I don't know. Hey, dude. Anyways, I had a fun time, man. That was good. I'm glad we did this while I was in my underwear. What?
So did I. That was fun. That was needed.
Well, until next time, we'll make sure to I'll make sure to hold you accountable so you remember. We got to come up with new topics for next time. This should be interesting.
Sounds good. Until next time.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Later.